Hello people of the internet, my name is Vince, also known as PleasantKenobi on the web, and this week I bring you a fun little ditty called Mr. Tron, the most pure and most powerful of all Tron variants. You've got people playing Thopter Foundry and Nahiri Control combo at the moment, which are all a bunch of hipsters. We're here to dump 1,000,000 mana into X spells and shoot people in the face. This deck is a love child, the spawn of myself and my good friend John the Baptist, who has a slight fetish for the janky, shall we say. We are its parent and it is our child and we care for it very deeply. However, despite such levels of love, the deck is a budget deck. Like a child just starting secondary school, they might ask for a shiny new pair of Khan Liberated, and you have to slap it upon the bottom and point a finger in its face and say, fuck no, no, you need to learn, you don't always get what you want in life. Life is one long string of fucking disappointments. As for the deck, it has a very simple, incredibly fun game plan. Make loads of mana and shoot the opponent with a critical Banefire. Banefire is the weapon of choice because it can't be countered, so we don't have to give a shit about blue counter spells. The key part of the combo is that we are doubling the Banefire with Primal's Goggles and Chandra Firebrand to make sure that our opponent is definitely dead. The secondary plan is to play a Stuffy Doll and cast Blasphemous Act, sometimes doubled, to last a 13 or 26 our opponent in the face, which is normally Goodnight Mr. Tom. Our tertiary win con is to do very typical Tron things like make Wormcoil engines or summon an Ugin. Some decks will just lose to this. Green Black X struggles to beat an active Ugin, whilst Wormcoil engine is a living, or should I say mechanised, fucking nightmare for aggro and burn decks. We used to have a final derpy Durdle plan as our fallback in the deck, where we'd recur things like Wormcoil engines and Stuffy Dolls through Trash for treasure using Ichor Wellsprings to draw cards, but we have moved away from this as it isn't pure enough. It isn't self-knowingly and quite ironically stuffed full of testosterone and shit, so it's gone and it will never return. Now we mainboard sweepers and removal to play the control and attrition game against aggro and mana heavy decks of the modern day modern, and once we've controlled them enough, we stabilise, we make lots of mana, and we kill them. But that is enough of this. Let us cast Banefire for 1,000,000 and feast upon the freshly shed tears and salt of our enemies.
But what is best in life? The open steppe, fleet horse, falcons at your wrist, and the wind in your hair. Wrong! Conan, what is best in life?
Banefire. Banefire for lethal. So it looks like we have mauled to 6 because a 5-lander is bad and MTGO hates us. I'm sure the Shuffler actually has a vendetta against me. We keep a 1-lander with a scry and a map and immediately get punished for it by having our map abrupt decayed because we are bad at magic. This makes me sad, some might say solemn. I am the embodiment of the sad robot, for Solemn Simulacrum is my spirit animal. I am just a copy of more successful YouTubers, feeling quite sad and sorry for myself because I'm shit at this game I love so much. When you are playing a deck in which your primary win condition is your opponent's Dark Confidant, you really aren't in a good place and should probably be playing something else. And Siege Rhino is the most fun Magic card to sit across the table from, and even though it's passed out of standard rotation now, it's still a massive pain in the arse in modern. With our opponent's Dark Confidant as our primary out for the situation that we're in, our secondary out is to be complete and utter undeserving Luxax and draw naturally into Tron. At this stage he doesn't really know what we are playing, probably suspecting us to be on some form of untrue and heretical red-green Tron. Little does he know the pain and anguish that awaits him when we finally get to Banefire the shit out of him. We appear to have got there. Now we have to pray our opponent does not have a path in that grip full of cards that Dark Confidant has set him up with. Well, fuck. Well, the chances are pretty high, so let's just move on to game 2. So we keep this hand because if we somehow and quite miraculously resolve this Ugin, we probably just win. Well, I can't say I didn't tell you so. Game 3, we see the worst hand ever, and then we see another hand that is a firm nope, and then we see a hand that with just one more land, we might play a game of Magic. Oh, well, I love Stony Science when I'm relying on expedition maps. Well, fuck. So, news just in, Mono Red Tron, much like many other decks, struggles to deal with painful hate of cards in Modern and Siege Rhino combinating together to create a whole lot of fuckery. Fuck this, let's go on to another game. After another shocking display, I felt the deck needed a chance to shine, so once more we ventured into the tournament practice rooms, this time with the intention of actually Banefiring someone. A man after my own heart, he is playing Mono White Weenie. I love myself a bit of Weenie, and I mean that in the most homoerotic way possible. I feel that Stuffed was probably much better in a meta where our opponents haven't always got the opportune path to exile without Veil 100% every time. We have found that Mono Red Tron is at its strongest when our opponents spunk their entire hand onto the board and draw no further gas. It means that our relative card quality can just sit there and be uncontested by opponents doing almost nothing. I mean, I always feel a bit like the villain in the Disney movie when I played Tron. Loud, obnoxious, and not very deep in character. However, I guess we are playing Tron's cheaper and slightly more demented cousin, so that kind of gives us some kind of more victory, even if I'm not quite sure what it is. So, this does look like a pretty shit Tron hand, but actually looks like quite a good sort of mono red control hand against White Weenie, so we kept it. I mean, where I play a lot of White Weenie, Death and Taxes, I sometimes forget just how satisfying it is to cast some sort of wrath onto the board and clear everything off, like wiping a particularly shitty bottom with a nice damp bit of tissue. And here you see us actually getting the plan on the go. So we natural Tron on turn 12, and then we cast Banefire for approximately 1 million damage, doubled at our opponent's face thanks to the power of Tron. I'm sure this is exactly what Richard Garfield intended when he created Magic, to have me dump so much mana to a X damage burn spell and shoot it at the face of some poor unsuspecting victim trying to play 2 1s for 1. Magic at its purest, Magic at its finest, even our opponent appreciates the turn 12 Banefire win. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to see more content like this, then just drop me some comments and let me know if you want to see some more Mono Red Tron or Mr. Tron to you. Show some fucking respect.